Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. My name is Donnie, and for today we're going to show you how you can use Excel in order to create shapes that changes color based on the value of a cell. Now, actually, if you search online, there are actually many people that says it is not possible. Well, somehow yes, but if you somehow work around it, you can actually make it happen. And this is very good. For example, as you can see in my screen right now, we're going to create a floor plan wherein we have this 6 rooms here, and the colors of these rooms will change depending on the value of those cells under column B. So let's start. So to begin, we have to first assign a table wherein there's the room numbers and the statuses of the those rooms. And then here I have an image of the floor plan that I will put the sort of like shapes on. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to add conditional formatting to the cells. Now, we're going to add it on these cells beside the statuses. So to do that, we're going to highlight all those cells that we want to apply colors on, and that would be these 6 cells over here, because I have these 6 rooms, okay, for my floor plan. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to go to Home, and then go to conditional formatting. Now, if you're familiar with conditional formatting, it's not going to be the basic ones, because the basic ones will only work if the cells that you're going to change the color is the same cells that has the values. The thing is, in this procedure, the values are in column B, and the cells that will change the colors are in column C. That is why we have to go all the way to conditional formatting and then skip all these basic tools here, and we're going to go to new rule. Now, once you have the new rule, you will have these 6 options over here. Whereas what you're going to do is you have to choose the last one, the one that says use a formula to determine which cells to format. So this allows you to create formulas that Excel will interpret in order to determine what color these cells should be, the ones that are highlighted right now. Now, there's going to be a formula bar below the options, and then we're going to create our formula, okay? But actually, it's not really a formula. It's more of like a logic. So just like a formula, though, you have to start with the equal sign. And then after that, you need to identify what cell or what column will determine the color of these cells. So in this case, it's not going to be column A, but rather column B. So in my formula here, I will type $B. I'm putting this with a dollar sign in order to sort of like safeguard my formula in case it moves to another cell or something like that. So better just put a dollar sign here. Technically, you can use no dollar signs based on my scenario right now, but generally to be safe, just in case I add additional columns and things like that, that it will always be under column B or it will follow the column of the statuses, then I'll put $B here. And then I will put the number 2. That is because that's the first row that I highlighted. I highlighted cell C2 to C7. That is why I'm going to put the number 2 for this. So $B2. If you're wondering, like, why are we just creating a formula for just a single cell, B2? Well, you just have to really trust Excel and just let it do its job. So we're just going to create the formula for the first cell, but Excel will sort of like create the formulas for the rest of the cells that we've highlighted. And then we're then going to identify that if that cell B2 is equal to the word available, and take note that just like in regular formulas, you have to put quotation marks around the word available. That is because the word available is a text. Unlike when you have B2, which is a cell, you don't need to put quotation marks for that. And then after you've spelled this correctly, mind you, wrong spelling, wrong here, you have to then identify what color should these cells be. So I'm going to go to Format, and I'm going to choose the fill color that will assign for these cells. So I will choose something like this, then click OK. And then that's it. I now have to click OK then. And now, as you could see, 3 of my cells are colored green. That is because these 3 cells are the available statuses. If I change the value of the other cells to also available, you would notice that they will automatically change the color, just like typical conditional formatting. The only difference is that it applies to another cell, and that's why we have to create the new rule instead. Now we're going to create another one for the booked. So we're going to make them red, for example. So you have to highlight again every cell. in the column, not just those that are booked. You have to highlight everything again, even if they are already green. Okay, so we have to go to home and then conditional formatting, and we're going to create another rule for this same 6 cells so that if they are not green, then they will be what color. So we go to new rule then, and just like the first one, we're going to click here, use a formula to determine which cells to format. And then we're going to do the same thing here. So in the formula bar, we're going to type the equal sign and again put $B because you want to fix these cells to look at column B and no other cells. Another way to put it. I'm also going to put the number 2 because that's the first row that I've highlighted, which means that if I have a different row number for my first cell, then I would have to adjust this number over here. It's not always the number 2. And then I have to again use the equal sign to complete the logic. And then I'm going to say that if it is booked. And take note, it is not case sensitive. You can type the word booked or whatever word you have there in any case that you want, as long as it's spelled correctly, no spaces, things like that. It has to be precise in terms of the data inside, not the format of the letters. Then we're going to click format here. And then for this one, we're going to select something reddish here, then click OK. And then you have to click OK one more time to apply the rule that we've created. And there you go. So we now have 2 colors here. And just to show you that this formerly green cell, which is because of the available, if I change this to booked, you would notice that it will turn red. So now I have this cells, okay, that I have. Now I can put words here as well if you want, okay, and it will not affect, okay, the rules that we've already created. It doesn't matter. Even if you formatted those cells with a different color, that's fine. It will still apply the color correctly. But in our scenario, we don't really need that. We already have labels in the map itself. So what we're going to do next then is really the trick, okay, in this technique. So we're going to start with the first cell. And then we're going to just click that first colored cell and we're going to copy that cell. Now, instead of pasting it, of course, we copied, but we're not going to paste it the normal way. We're going to use a paste special for this. So we're going to right-click anywhere. Doesn't really matter where, because this square over here will become a shape anyway. So we're just going to right-click any cell, and then under the paste special, just expand the options and you will see all other paste specials options other than those 6 defaults. And one of those paste special options is here on the other paste options group, the one that says picture. But this means that it will be pasted as a picture. However, take note that you have to use the one that is linked. So I have here linked picture. I'm going to click that. And now I have this picture, okay, that is like a shape, but you would notice that it actually has a red lining over here. And that is because it's sort of like copied almost everything, even that edge was copied. So if you're a little bit concerned about this, then what you need to do is insert lines, okay, spaces between this. It will change the look of the table, but you can always, well, work it out. Just that's how it works. So you just have to insert a space between those rooms. All right, so just click them one by one. Take note that don't do it like everything. Just do it one by one, row per row, and then we're going to click insert. So that inserts a blank row on between those rows, and you would notice that I lost now the red markings, okay, around my shape. Another way to handle that is you can also just go to picture format and just crop the shapes if you want. Okay, it's just what will happen here is you have to crop every shape that you will do one by one, as you will see later. But in my technique over here, I'm just going to sort of like put a very small gap between those uh, room colors so that it doesn't pick up the edges. Okay, and there you go. So now we have this shape, but actually it's a picture that changes color depending on the value of cell, because this is technically linked, okay, to that cell. So if I change this to the word booked, okay, you will notice that it will change color. Now you would notice that when I press it here, it also reflected. as you can see, that's how it works. It sort of like takes a screenshot of the cell and then imports it as an image. So don't worry, just get your cursor away and you'll be fine. And I hope you can see what's going to happen next. We're now going to position this shape or picture that we have here and just, resize it the way that you want. And you would notice that it's opaque, so it's blocking the word room, and that's easily fixed by changing the transparency of the shape. So all you have to do is click on the shape, go to picture format, and then somewhere here you should see their transparency all the way to the left. And then you can choose how transparent you want it to be. So I'll make it like this, for example. And now you have the first one. And you know where this is going. We just have to do it one by one, K per cell, so, or per room. And so that is why imagine what will happen if you have a lot of rooms. Well, honestly, if you have a lot of rooms, you might as well get a system, okay, to handle your reservations or whatever it is you're trying to do. But if you're limited and you're only going to use Excel, then it's just going to take time for the first time. But once you already have it deployed or set up, then you should be good to go. So I'm just now doing it, and if you can fast forward if you already feel okay that you already know what's going to happen next. But actually the next thing that I'm going to discuss is how you would manage the other shapes, because right now, as you can see here, we're actually quite limited to just squares, right? Because that's the shape of a cell and it just copies the shape of a cell. Okay, but don't worry, we have a plan for that, and I'm just sort of like one step, okay, away. All right, oops. So paste special, linked. So this is for room 5 over here. And then you can, of course, do this perfectly. I'm a little bit pressured with the time, so I'm just going to do it. Now, how do we tackle that parallelogram problem that we have, given that all we have are square shapes? The thing is, here's what we're going to do. Okay, just have to do it normally, just like before. So I have here my shape. But what we're going to do next is we're going to copy it again. So copy, paste, oops, copy, and then paste special, link picture. So now we have this. But what we're going to do for this one is we're going to go to picture format and we're going to crop it. So you may be familiar with cropping. This is very common nowadays. But in Excel and actually in any Microsoft program, there's actually an option to crop and then do a different shape instead. Instead of just a regular rectangle, you can choose crop to shape. And this is why it technically works like changing shape color, because yes, the classification of this object is a picture, but you can always use other shapes for that. So it technically is like a picture. So let's say that for that one, I need something like a triangle like this one. And then I'm going to, as you can see, it's now different. I'm just going to put it over here. Then maybe make it smaller a little bit. All right. And if you're a little bit concerned that if you drag this one away, it will leave the triangle, you can always just click both of them, right click, and then group them together. So they become one shape. Okay. And just like the first one, we're going to apply a transparency for this too. There's a line over there. I hope you will forgive that, or you can always just do this perfectly if you want. And there you go. Okay, so once we have this, you already now have the word. You can change this, and you will notice that it changes color as needed. Okay, because of the formula that we have, you can also insert another column here, and it will also not affect anything. And that is why if you like a little bit of awkward with that drop down that shows up suddenly here, you can always just do it like that. And there you go. So we just created a floor plan that changes color based on the value of a cell. I hope this helped you. And if you have any questions, because this is the end of the video, if you have any questions, please feel free to use the comment section, and I will try my best to answer it as soon as I can. If this video helped you, we really appreciate your like, and hopefully subscribe in the channel. Ring the notification bell if you can, because it really helps us create more videos for you. But for now, that's it. I hope I shared something useful for you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.